Hello everyone, this is Lucy05 and welcome to the Cobra Bisexual Toy Review. And today's toy review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra action figure review. And today's action figure review, we're looking at the Desert Battle Storm Shadow. Now I got this straight from a local toy shop near my area, which is also a scalper shop, for 38 ringgit. Now they originally priced it for 39 ringgit and 50 cents. Retail shop however sells it for 39 ringgit and 90 cents. So I actually save up 2 ringgit there. Now, the packaging itself still bears some semblance to the vintage and the 25th anniversary packaging. Background is still in black, the placement is still in the same similar area, like the title there and the artwork, except the artwork is more close resemblance to the Rise of Cobra packaging. But there are also quite a number of changes, especially on the edges of the packaging itself is now in blue, and the character next to the character itself is all this blue aura surrounding the character. So it's a bit similar to the Rise of Cobra packaging mixed in with the old vintage or 25th anniversary packaging. The G.I. Joe logo there is now painted in silver. The name is all placed on one side, Storm Shadow. At the bottom his designation as Cobra Ninja. However, I don't understand why they put the Cobra logo all the way at the bottom of the packaging. It would be great if they just put it on top here. It's because there's a lot of space there. Nice little artwork of the Desert Battle Storm Shadow. I really like it. However, you don't get to see everything there because everything is cramped up. Now the plastic bubble there stores the figure and the rest of the accessory, and this figure has a lot of weapons. 4 shurikens, 2 cat claws, 2 wakizashis, 4 katanas at the back of the figure, and this chain weapon, what at the back of packaging would mention as Manriki Gusari chain weapon. That's really a mouthful just to call this entire weapon itself. Of course, you still have the figure, and behind the figure there's the base stand, and behind the base stand there's the catalog. Everything is cramped up into this packaging, which is rather interesting. Now at the top part here, at the back of the packaging, top part here explains what G.I. Joe is about and who their enemy is, who are going to defend the country against Cobra. Here we have the mission type called the Desert Battle. And this section here, you got the file card. Storm Shadow is a ninja mercenary who works for Cobra. As the Desert Battle rages, he hunts for Snake Eyes, the G.I. Joe ninja and his sworn enemy. The Cobra martial arts master is prepared for battle in samurai desert armor, which is actually more like a skirt rather than the armor itself. And armed with connectable katana swords and a Manriki Gusari chain weapon. I really hate it when I try to pronounce that entire word there. Mission equipment: hand-forged steel helium katana sword. Got a nice image of the Desert Battle Storm Shadow now. So I really babbled long enough. Let's open up this packaging so we can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now inside the packaging it shows a catalog where there's a jungle assault team going on. Here you got a jungle viper trying to aim at Recondo there. There's a nice little Cobra logo there. And a van vehicle covered in mud. Very nicely done. Here you got Recondo trying to communicate with the jungle assault Duke. Now at the back of the packaging itself, you've got the Wave 1 figures and the Wave 2 figures for the G.I. Joe and Cobra units. And that's about it for the catalog. Let's take a look at the base stand. You've got the typical 25th anniversary version of the Cobra base stand, and at the back here is stated 2007 Hasbro, made in China. Now you got a nice little Cobra logo there. Originally for the 25th anniversary version, there's only one peg for the unit to stand on. Now they added one more peg, so the unit of the figure itself can actually stand onto the base stand more firmly and more secure. Now the plating here, they just put the name Storm Shadow, unlike the original 25th anniversary version where they put the 2 words code name accompanied by the name of the character itself, which is really nice though. Next we'll take a look at the Storm Shadow weapons. A lot of weapons. First it comes with the cat claws, and he can actually hold it at the handles there, and it's a very nicely done detailed stuff. However, there's no way for the figure to store the weapons. It has too much weapons. I can't believe I can actually say that, but there's no way you can actually store the cat claws. Next, we take a look at the chain weapon, and the ring and the chain itself is actually metal. Very nicely done. Figure can actually hold it on the handles, and there's blades on the top. Now, in between the blades itself, there are holes where you can actually attach the swords with the pegs, including the wakizashi, straight in between the blades, and there you have it. Very nicely done. Of course, there's no way for Storm Shadow to actually store the chain weapon too. Now, it comes with 4 katanas and 2 wakizashis. 2 of the katanas have pegs there, and one of the wakizashis actually have 1 peg, and the other one has a hole. The rest of the katanas have a hole at the bottom part of the handle itself. You can actually interconnect with each other to make a single weapon, which is very nicely done. Now, the katanas can be stored at the back of the backpack itself, or 2 of the wakizashis if you want Storm Shadow to hold 2 katanas. And the backpack is very nicely done in this kind of design, because when you store the weapons, all the weapons intercross with each other. Very nicely done. And you can actually pull off the backpack quite easily, as shown like so. Now, this piece is a separate piece where you can pop off the head and remove this. It's very nicely sculpted too, nicely painted and nicely sculpted. Now, it comes with 4 shurikens, which is already attached to the lower portion of the samurai skirt there. However, the weapon is extremely small, that the figure can't even hold the weapon itself, because the grip is a bit spread out. So you have no choice to place the shurikens onto the side of the thighs there. At least you can actually store the shurikens, and not unlike some of the weapons there. Now, let's take a look at the figure's paint job. The paint job is actually quite nice. I really like the whole theme of the desert battle, and Storm Shadow is actually wearing some portion of the samurai armor there, painted in red and black, and the edges there also a dull gold paint job. So there's the lines in between of the waist itself. Is very nicely done. At the back there, there's a small little pouch there. You notice at the back portion of the butt skirt there, there's 2 holes. At first I thought it would store the 2 wakizashis, but it's sort of, in this kind of fashion that it will poke his legs, so it makes no sense actually. So I'm not too sure what's the use of the back of the 2 holes there. The paint job is very nicely done. I really love this entire skirt itself, and the leg portion, the pants are all sort of very dirty, covered in sand, to show that the figure, the character actually went to the desert. Very nice, but it's not enough. The armbands here is also not painted with the dirty sand look. I really wish they did more on the armband and the head, and also this portion, to show that this character actually went to the desert. But the only indication that he went to the desert is the lower parts of the pants itself. But still, it still looks very nice. I really like the paint job. You got the nice little flesh tone there. The armbands are all painted in dull white. Now the pair of eyes is already painted, very nicely done. You can actually see the eyes there. Back portion of the head, however, you've noticed the exposed hair. I really don't like that kind of paint job, because it's a bit too shiny. It should paint a bit more flat and cover a bit more sand, but it's a bit too black and a bit too shiny there. But it's still alright. The figure is still very nicely done. Now, let's take a look at the figure's sculpt. I really love this section here. It's very detailed stuff, and the head sculpt is very nice. Very nice. Too bad the paint job on the head is kind of ruined it a little bit. However, the entire body, except for the samurai skirt, the entire body is actually a reused mold from the Rise of Cobra's version of the Arctic Thread Storm Shadow. It's exactly the same mold. There's no change. The only change is they add the samurai skirt with the cloth here, and that's it. They remove the head and replace it with a new head, but that's the only change there. There's no new sculpt. This is the only new sculpt. But I really love the head sculpt. The head sculpt is very nice. Very, very nice. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head actually can turn 360 degrees and move a little bit up and down. Torso, however, can turn 360 degrees. Problem is, it cannot go forward and backwards because it's being hindered by the waist samurai armor part there. So I'm a bit disappointed on that. Arms can turn 360 degrees provided it's not being hindered by the backpack's swords. Arms can actually raise up all the way this much. Elbow can bend this far and turn 360 degrees like so. Wrist can turn 360 degrees. Now the hip joint here, despite with a lot of stuff going on, it still can bend the legs, but it's being hindered by the side of the samurai skirt and in between his crotch. Legs can still spread this far, like so. Double jointed knee that bends this far. It's a bit tight, but it bends all the way, very nicely done. And the ankle joint can bend down and up and turn 360 degrees. Now overall, I really like this figure, despite that it still uses the same mold from the Rise of Cobra version, but it's a nice combination and a little add-on with the samurai skirt, this piece here, a nice little head sculpt, and a whole slew of weapons. I really love the weapons there. Too bad that he can't actually store all his weapons, but it's still a nice addition. So if I'm going to give a rating on this is very nice. I really like it. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. So I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.